What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video is my May 2018 budget with me video. As always, I'm gonna start off going very quickly through the monthly spread. Then I'm gonna go through my budgeted expenses for the month very quickly as well, and then at the very end, which will take up the majority of this video, you're going to get what you guys usually come for, which is my paycheck to paycheck budgeting. So very quickly, my quote of the month is "do it with passion or not at all." I thought that was a pretty good quote. I've been doing really great with walking in my passions, the multiple passions that I have all this year, and so I want to keep that reminder there. The only thing that I've changed about this monthly spread is that instead of me putting labels on each of these bill due stickers to indicate what they're for, I did not do that at all. Some of these, you know, since I have stickers for them, I went ahead and put those on there, but I've been paying these same bills for over 6 months now, so I pretty much know exactly what they are, so I don't need a label for them. Now, my electricity and my gas bill were due at the end of this current month, April, because I'm recording this April 24th. So I'm just going to assume that it's due on the 30th again. Now, when I go through and do my paycheck to paycheck budgeting, I do estimate what the bill will be, but I don't put that in this monthly spread. I put the actual amount there. Also, what I did repeat from last year was putting this no spend tracker up here. As you guys can see, I do have no spend dots to the right of my calendar, so that's not what I'm using this for. I'm actually going to use this to calculate how much money I spend in my everyday expenses each week. So these little circles have the numbers for each of the Fridays, because as some of you guys know, and if you are new, you may not know this, but I get paid at different times throughout the month, but most of my paychecks come on the Fridays. So my month's budget starts from the first Friday of the month and goes until usually the last Thursday of the month or the first Thursday of the following month, essentially. And so that's why those dots are there. And yeah, so I really liked this idea that I used this for last month, so I am repeating that. So the only other thing is that I am going on another trip this month. In May. I went on 2 trips in April, or 3. 2 trips in April, and so I have one coming up in May. I'm going to Atlanta for a marketing class, and so I'll be leaving on the 18th and I'm coming back on the 20th. So that is that. So now let's get to the budgeted expenses. All right, so all of my expenses have pretty much stayed the same. The only thing that I have changed, I went down on the estimate for my electricity bill. My electricity bill has been running under $40 for about probably 3 or 4 months now. Actually in April, my electricity bill was like $30 and some change. So I went ahead and lowered that from 60 to 40. Then my gas bill, I'm keeping it at the same, just because we haven't really started to get hot here in St. Louis. It's still been pretty cold. Today is kind of cool. It's like 64 degrees, I believe, but it's been running like in the 40s. So just in case there's one extra month of us not getting spring, I'll go ahead and keep that the same. Hopefully in June I can go down on that, and then probably electricity will end up going back up. Let's see, everything else is the same. So my total fixed expenses is $1,605.58. Now moving over here to my budgeted expenses, I kept everything the same except business. So groceries, we have 200, personal household, we have 100, restaurants 100, gasoline 150, shopping 150, miscellaneous 100, supplements 75, business is 200, and then I need to get the front seat of my car fixed. My driver's side, somebody burned a hole in my front seat. So yeah, and I'm not a smoker, so it really bothers me, and it's been bothering me for a while, and so now I'm gonna get it fixed. So the car dealership told me it was gonna be 60 bucks, but I didn't know if that included labor or not, and instead of me just calling them like I probably should have, I just went ahead and went up on the estimate to $100. And yeah, so my total budgeted expenses is $1,175. So now let's go ahead and move on to the paycheck to paycheck budgeting. So I already have everything pre-written out at this point. So up here I have my budgeted expenses. So everything minus my supplements, business, and then my car getting fixed is $800. And so that is $200 per week because this is a 4 Friday month for me. So then I have those extras over there. I also need to put my June rent aside. For those of you guys who are new, every single month my rent is already paid the previous month, and so I'm gonna end up saving for my June rent so that when the first comes, the money has already been set aside and I'm good. So I'm gonna be basing this budget off of $4,000 a month. I've been kind of liking that number. I've been going above and beyond pretty much every month for the most part for the last, like, I don't even know how many months, but 4,000 to me is a good place to start. So these are the 4 weeks of expenses that I have. So we have May 4th through the 10th, May 11th through the 17th, the 18th through the 24th, and then the 25th through the 31st. So I've broken down my $4,000 budgeted or estimated income into these 4 weeks. So the first week I'm estimating $500 in income, the second week $1,100, the third week $1,200, and the fourth week $1,200 as well. And so because I am self-employed, I underestimate my income and I overestimate, to the best of my abilities, my expenses. And so what that allows me to do, if my overestimated expenses can fall into my underestimated income, if I have less expenses or I have more income that comes in, then my budget is just fine. I don't have to tweak numbers. I don't have to pull money out of my savings. I don't have to move things around. And so that is that. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in just a little bit. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, because I forgot to do this, and yeah, I just do that sometimes, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a vertical line halfway through each side. All right, now we are good to go. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and write my budgeted expenses out because I usually forget if I do it at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the first line for each one. Okay, so my first expense for the month, I don't have any expenses that come out the first week. So what I did a long time ago was I put all of my expenses pretty much to be after the 15th because in my previous business and even still now, the majority of my income comes in before the 15th. So that way all of my bills are due after I have the majority of my income for the month, if that makes sense. And so it works out really well for me, and it might be something that you need to do as well, is kind of look where are your better income weeks and kind of move things around that way. So the first expense is going to be MailChimp, and that's $10. So that's it for this week. Now for this week we have Progressive for $107.83. Okay, and then we have the roadside assistance for $7.99. Okay, so I have everything written out at this point except my rent, my car, the supplements, and business. Now, I do know that I'm going on my business trip this particular week, so I'm gonna go ahead and write the business in now. And yeah, so let's go ahead and calculate and see if we are negative any months and if we need to start moving some things around. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the last week. Okay, so before I try to figure out where to fit my rent and fixing my car and also my supplements, I'm gonna go ahead and first move my car loan over here because my car loan, I can't put my extra payments towards it until the first payment comes out. And so because May is the month where I'm trying to pay the car off, I want to go ahead and move that to this week. And since I have the remaining balance of $525.27, I can go ahead and move that over here. So uh-oh. So now we can go ahead and subtract from this week. Now, I really want to get my car fixed here. So let's go ahead and do that. So that takes care of this. The business is already taken care of. Now we have to do the supplements, which I'm gonna go ahead and put here because I know I'm running out of my liquid biotin, which is the only supplement right now that I'm running out of. So that leaves us with 125. Now for rent. Okay, so as you guys can see, really the only week that I can take all of the rent out together is going to be here. So what I'm actually going to do is just do half and half because I don't want to wait till the end of the month. I'm someone who likes to put my rent off to the side as early as I possibly can for the simple fact that the money won't just be sitting in my account and me thinking that I have more money to kind of play around with than I have. So if I at least take half of it here, then I really don't have to worry about, you know, having the whole thing down here. So let's go ahead and put half of June rent. We're going to put an R, and that's going to be $405.44. And then we're going to put the other half here. And because I don't do an every dollar budget, more than likely I'm gonna have enough in my account up here where I feel comfortable taking the whole thing. If not, even if I take the whole thing here and then it kind of makes me uncomfortable somewhere up in here, I can always kind of Zelle the money back to myself because I do transfer money between my regular account and my Ally account through Zelle. So it's not like it costs me any money or anything like that. So $387.82 is what we're left with here. And then let's go ahead and do the last week as well. $405.44. That leaves us with $443.86. All right, so before we finish this off, I'm gonna go ahead and first highlight what we have left over each week. And then let's start estimating kind of what we're gonna do with our surplus. Because again, since I'm not on the every dollar budget, every single dollar that's a surplus will not go towards my debt. So the week of May 4th, we have $125 left. May 11th, we have $387.82. May 18th, we have $262.74. And then May 25th, we have $443.86. So let's go ahead and tally that up and see what we are left with. 125. And hopefully I did this right. I'm pretty sure I did. All right, so $1,219.42 is what we have available. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. Now let's see what we're gonna do with it. So I like to keep a cushion in my checking account just in case I go over budget for my everyday expenses, or if something kind of comes up. For instance, like this month, I ended up shelling out like $227 that I did not expect to shell out, but I wanted to help someone out. So let's see. I'm going to keep half. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep half of it in my checking. Then I'm going to put $200 in my income tax sinking fund. And then that leaves me with $409.71 to put towards debt. Yes, so that is what I plan to do. Okay, so for those of you guys who did not see my last video, I will link that up in the eye in the sky because this will look completely confusing if you did not see it already. But this is basically a breakdown of how I plan to pay off my debt, whether I do it by the end of May or by almost the end of June for my 28th birthday. And so, excuse me. So in order for me to pay this off, my May income has to be almost $5,000. And so you guys can see that, again, I kind of underestimate my income, but if I only get to $4,000, you guys can see I'm not going to be able to pay this debt off, because this $409.71 plus my principal amount of my car loan that should go towards the car loan will only give me about $660. And so that's not going to be able to cover the entire $1,600 that's probably going to be left on my balance by the 1st of May. And so the thing is, I'm going to have to, of course, try to meet this income goal or even higher, or I'm going to have to keep my expenses as low as possible either way. So this is the plan that I have for my money in May. Hopefully I can reach my goals of staying under budget and also getting my car fixed because it's driving me crazy, and also paying off the last bit of my debt so I can finally be debt free. You guys, I have not been debt free since I was like, I think 19, when I took on my very first car loan. So it's been a struggle, okay? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.